Hey guys, how's it going? I wasn't originally gonna do a video on this game because I was just like, it's a beta, you know what, there's so many other people doing videos on this, everyone can go do their own thing. But I was looking through my own videos today and I was like, I did one for COD World War II and I kind of was shitting on Call of Duty and really everything they did, which they deserve it. I mean, in my opinion, they deserve it. And I just think that they kind of fucked up the last half decade or so. And you know, I really do think, I know a lot of people have been saying lately that, oh, this game's gonna bring it back, this game's gonna bring it back, and it might. You know what, it really might. I really do like this game. I do have a couple of problems with it, things I will be talking about today, but overall I think this game is fantastic. I think this game is probably the best Call of Duty since their glory days, so to speak. And I said in my last Call of Duty World War II open beta video that, in my opinion, their glory days were Modern Warfare, World at War, and Modern Warfare 2. Not necessarily in that order. I think it's a pretty large majority that thinks that Modern Warfare, the original Modern Warfare, is indeed the best Call of Duty ever made. I happen to disagree with that. I do think that Modern Warfare 2 is the best Call of Duty of all time. But that's mainly because Modern Warfare 2 was such a big deal to me on the multiplayer scale, and that was just one of the first games that I remember being like, holy shit, this is Call of Duty, this is so badass, this is a first-person shooter, that I just,
Team deathmatch.
that was a total misclick. I am live commentating right now, by the way, but anyway, Modern Warfare 2 was just such a huge game for me personally. I think that Modern Warfare 2, Battlefield Bad Company 2, and Halo 3 are some of the best FPSs ever made. I think that as a person, those games hold so many memories for me. Just having so much fun with it, and oh my god, it's so hard to explain. Oh god. It's so hard to explain. You know, damn it, how I feel about those games just as a whole, because it's, you know, it really is, they were such good games for me. And I have Battlefield Bad Company 2 on my PC. I have Modern Warfare 2 on my PC. Only thing I'm working on now is Halo, and I know Halo's coming on PC, so I'm super excited about that. But that's a whole nother video, that's a whole nother topic. But for me, Modern Warfare was great. I love Modern Warfare. I love that the story, you know, it started. I love the characters that I love the characters it started. You know, I really do love everything about Modern Warfare. The original Modern Warfare, I do. But Modern Warfare 2, to me, is just a notch or two better. You know, I think the kill streaks are, god dang it. I think the kill streaks are better. I think the weapons are better. Obviously, the graphics are improved. You know, stuff like that. So that's my opinion. Now, I do think that Modern Warfare, OG Modern Warfare, is better than World at War. But I do like World at War specifically because I believe, if I remember correctly, it's actually the first Call of Duty to have dismemberment and a lot of gore. And I'm a big fan of gore. It's kind of morbid, I know, but I'm actually a big fan of gore. And seeing a 12 gauge just absolutely blow the fuck out of someone's leg, like it would in real life, as a matter of fact. It's just, oh man. It just added a touch of realism. Enough of a touch of realism to be like, holy shit, this dude just got a 12 gauge below his knee and he's dead. He just bled out in this castle. You know, and I'm such a history geek too, so having something like that was, you know, you could see real battlefields in a virtual setting. It was just awesome. But again, I'm just kind of going off topic. I do think if Activision has their shit together, that this game really does have the ability to be something fantastic. Why would they do that? I do think if Activision has their stuff together, this could really be something unique and awesome. Come on, let me do something. Dude, what? He was healing so fast. No. Bro, I almost had my chopper gunner. I almost, man, that was a good little setup. Anyway, I have heard some bad things about this game so far. I have heard, and this is going to be a huge problem for me, I have heard that they're actually going to have, they being Activision, they're actually going to include, for whatever reason, they're going to include pay-to-win loot boxes. Now, I don't know if there's any official announcement or news, or if this is just people kind of being paranoid, or, you know, they're making intelligent guesses. But I have heard that they're going to be doing pay-to-win loot boxes, which I really hope not. Activision is already in such a heated area right now with the whole Blizzard thing going on. You know, they haven't been releasing very good things the past, jeez, probably the past 7 or 8 years. They haven't been releasing, you know, that good of things. So they haven't been doing very good in the whole PR area either. They're just kind of, but at the same time, you know, they're kind of accompanied to bandwagon hate right now, and I'm not a big fan of bandwagon hating. Like, I still love Bethesda. I think what Bethesda does is amazing. I still love them despite their setbacks and their failed PR stunts and everything else. I still love Bethesda. So I'm hoping that Activision can do something good for this game, because this game, you know, everyone's saying it. Everyone's saying that this could be something great, and I really hope, for the sake of Call of Duty as a franchise, and I hope for the sake of Activision's not going anywhere, you know, but for the sake of Activision as a whole, I do hope that they do good things here. I guess since I am kind of talking about some negatives, I do want to talk a little bit about some negatives that I'm personally having an issue with. One, this is just kind of a thing that, I'm not going to do a list, so I don't know why I said one so drastically, but one thing for sure is this is just kind of a personal preference that I'm going to kind of miss. From what I've experienced so far, there's no knives. There's no knives anywhere. You know, it's all weapon meleeing. There's no knives, and it kind of makes me sad. That means there's not going to be a tack knife. I've never really run a tack knife anyway. But, you know, it's just sad. Oh. It's just sad that there's not going to be any knives anymore. I don't know how to explain it. Sad. Here. Come on, man. Let me get you. Another thing that I'm having an issue with is this game seems to have anti-aliasing problem, where you aim down iron sights and the weapon itself, it looks very, oh my god. He was trying to find, oh, fucking hell. The weapon itself, it's only with iron sights, I noticed. Well, even now, actually, you can see it around my holographic. You can see that it's really bad. It looks grainy and really blurry. Let me try to get it. Okay, so this is against a solid object. You can actually, it's not as, Jesus Christ. It's not as bad as something with iron sights, but it's still pretty bad. The pistols don't seem, the pistols are doing it, actually. So yeah, huge anti-aliasing problem. That's my biggest gripe with the game so far. Just really annoying.
Objective complete. Very good.
Also, you can see the anti-aliasing really bad at the front half of the weapon. A lot of blurriness going on his hand. It's kind of bad. Anyway, another big negative, in my opinion, that's going on is the it doesn't really remind me of any other Call of Duty. I don't know if Activision and Infinity Ward and all them guys were going for a reminiscent feel. If they were, they failed. I don't think this game feels like any other Call of Duty, but that could be such a good thing, considering people have been complaining that Call of Duty's been doing the same thing over and over and over again. You know, it could be a really good thing that it's not reminiscent. What it does What it does remind me of, that's a whole nother negative right there that I will talk about, so just hold your horses. I was going to get into that too, which is funny. But anyway, especially in this game mode called the Ground War that they introduced, this is the first ever, look at that anti-aliasing, this is the first ever, like, iteration of a Call of Duty type conquest game mode, as Battlefield calls it, but on here it's Ground War. This is 32v32, it's got vehicles, helicopters, and they're called IFVs in the game, rather, and of course APCs. You can't play a FPS game without an APC, right? And yeah, people can hop in them, shoot them, whatever, you know, like this thing right here. I got it. Okay, sweet. And yeah, this is just very reminiscent of Conquest, and I'm not saying they like copied or anything, because I don't think EA and DICE have like copyright on Conquest. You know, it's just a big ass domination game mode, a super big version of it, of course. The map is, at least this specific map, Ground War for the beta only has one map, so you know we can't complain about the map too much, but because we haven't seen everything. But the map itself is much smaller than Battlefield Conquest maps, like leagues smaller, much smaller, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because sometimes, truth be told, I love Battlefield, I love the Battlefield franchise, but sometimes the maps can be too big. You'll be running for 5 minutes, won't be near a flag, won't have anybody to shoot, and then you'll run up on just a small little shack, and then you'll get dead instantly. Here, the maps are much more maneuverable, also with the addition of, I don't know if any other Call of Duties have done this, none that I've played, because I haven't played Call of Duty since Black Ops 2 or Ghost. I always forget which one comes first, but whichever one comes second between Call of Duty, Black Ops 2, or Call of Duty Ghosts, that's the one I've played. Whichever the last one of those two are, or the most recent of those two. I want to say it's Black Ops 2, but I don't quite remember. I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, the parkour, so to speak, the vaulting, the climbing, everything. I can climb on the shelf. You know, I can actually. I just now noticed this. This is the first Call of Duty where you can see your fucking feet. I just now noticed that. Holy shit. I tried throwing a grenade, but I didn't have any. So yeah, it does really remind me of Battlefield 4, which isn't a bad thing. I think Battlefield 4 is the second best Battlefield ever made. Just my opinion. I do also think that the explosion damage and the mini-map needs work. I'm not saying that either of them are bad by any means, but I do think they need work. For sure. Gosh dang it, man. That guy's in such a good spot. That guy's in a really good spot. People are just spawning on him like crazy. I am happy with the gunplay so far too. I think the gunplay is really amazing, and that's kind of another thing that reminds me of a Battlefield game rather than a Call of Duty game. Battlefield, in my opinion, has always had much more realistic feel of weapons. I can honestly say, especially the handguns. I don't have any with this class right now, but you can see from the round before. If I include any pistol footage, I don't know. I'll show some off because I'm probably gonna die right now. Oh, never mind. Let's do the M13 is the best weapon in my opinion so far. A lot of people think it's the MP5, but I don't happen to think it is. I happen to think it's the M13. It's a fucking amazing weapon. It really is. But anyway, as someone who has shot weapons before, I can certainly say that the handguns feel so real. The handguns feel so real to me. It's actually crazy. Like, honestly, some of the best recoil in the game I've ever seen. Really. In an FPS game, at least. And no, I haven't played from Escape from Tarkov. I mean, you can just see, like you can see the wrist movement, even though my FOV is kind of low. I don't think you can change our FOV, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, so that's another big thing that I think this game has an absolute plus on is the guns, the weapons, the firearms. They feel real. They really feel real. I think so. Definitely a realistic recoil on them. Absolutely. Another big thing, in my opinion, is that's good is the death animations, man. The death animations are so good. They flow. It's not like the static, like how it was before, where, you know, the static, it would just replay. Like, let's say you got shot in the foot and you would somehow, like, I'm thinking back to Modern Warfare 2 specifically. One of my favorite ones is like you get shot in the legs, right, and then you do like a spin, like a downward spin to the ground. That shit cracks me up. Or like the one where they reused this one actually in Battlefield. I'm sorry, they reused this one specifically in Black Ops 4, but the one where you like get shot and you drop your weapon and you stop to your knees and then fall on your face. That one, that specific death animation is from, like, I guess people found it. The earliest version of that was like Call of Duty 3 and they reused it. No death animation that I've seen so far has been reused, and I think that's phenomenal. In my opinion, that's great, because it's like, oh, okay, you guys aren't reusing assets. That's awesome. It's great. I think it's fantastic. And you know, that's really the whole thing with me, is like, I think this game is phenomenal. I really do think that this game could get somewhere if Activision does everything right. For me personally, I'm not going to pre-purchase it. I do want this game. I really do want this game. The only thing is, I'm not going to pre-purchase it. I'm absolutely not going to pre-order it. I'm not going to buy it off Blizzard right now. Absolutely not. I'm not like waiting for it to come to Steam or anything, because I don't think it is going to come to Steam. But the thing is I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait for it to be full release. I'm probably going to wait about a week or so until I actually think about buying it. Specifically because if they do loot boxes, I do not want to support that. I do not want to support a company that decides to do pay-to-win loot boxes. If they're cosmetic, then I might still get it. I'm not a fan of microtransactions in any form. I'm really not. I think they're kind of, you know, I don't think they're very moral business practices. I really don't. It's just not something I like or enjoy or want to see. And hopefully they don't have any loot boxes. But if they're just cosmetic, I might have to, you know, disagree with my morals for a day and just purchase the game. Because, you know what, I really like the game. And I think that it's going to be worth getting, again, if they don't do pay-to-win loot boxes. I also really like Ground War. I really like this game mode. Some people are saying that it feels too chaotic or whatever, but honestly, I think it might just be the map, especially when it, like, fighting for Charlie. Oh my god, fighting for Charlie is so fucked. Fighting for Charlie is so annoying and terrible. I really try to go for this. It's just bad. Oh, another good thing about this game too, kind of unique actually, is the gunsmithing. It's nowhere near the level of customization as something like Escape from Tarkov, but the gun customization is actually really good, and we can actually, there's actually weapon leveling now too, which I don't know if Call of Duty's ever really done before. I mean, I know there's obviously you do certain stuff to get unlock stuff, like oh, get 25 kills and unlock the FMJ, or get 30 kills and unlock the silencer. Like, I know there's always been that stuff, but this is actual weapon leveling. Like, let me see if I can show you guys real quick. Yeah, so this is like level 21. So if I go to gunsmith, oh, you can also edit shit. You can also edit your classes like in game now too, which is really cool. In my opinion, I think that's I think that's really cool. Yeah, I just hope, like, speaking of weapons, I just hope this isn't all the weapons they have. Because if this is all the weapons, I doubt it's all the weapons they have, but if this is all the weapons they have, I'm going to be really disappointed in this game. But anyway, as I was saying, okay, so let's say, like, I already have the M13. But I go here, right? So now I have all of these that I can choose from. It's really cool. I'm just going to stick with the holographic because you really don't need anything more than that in Call of Duty, in my opinion. Especially since I personally probably going to be playing Team Deathmatch. Team Deathmatch growing up was always what I played more of. Like, I loved Team Deathmatch. Like, I like Domination too, don't get me wrong, but that's a bug, by the way. Hopefully they fix that. But Call of Duty was always, Team Deathmatch was always really fun to me. I always liked that better than everything else in Call of Duty specifically. In Battlefield, I'd never really liked it. I was always Conquest or Rush with Battlefield, and I was never like Search and Destroy for this, for example. But I'm not going to try Ground War again. I'm kind of surprised that I got kicked for an activity because I was in the menu. But I want to try Realism real quick. This is obviously going to be exactly what it sounds like, but yeah, let's give that a shot. And there are certain things you can unlock here. I'm assuming that these might be unlocked with like the main campaign, but I chose this guy because he's from Texas, so he's an American. I always like that. I always love America. And that's just cool. This guy has a cape, which is really cool too. This guy just looks menacing and mean. So, oh, there it is again. Just the face this time. Yeesh, I've never seen that before. Okay. Yeah, it turned into a 2019 AAA game into like a freaking, I don't even know. Oh yeah, and this game is very heavy on crossplay, which I actually don't mind. I actually think crossplay is a really good thing. The only thing is, console, unfortunately, console has what's called aim assist. And what happens is, if you just press your trigger, your aim trigger on the controller, you automatically snap to someone. So that kind of sucks. And it's really hard for PC players to go against stuff like that because they're always seem to get more kills. They always seem to be better. Oh yeah, as you saw there, you can actually peek doors now, which is pretty cool. That's supposed to be real? I shot that motherfucker like 16 times before he died. Ooh. Ouch. Yeah, but performance issues are great. I've literally no complaints. I mean, I'm on basically max level, or max graphics, sorry, and I'm running at 100 frames. Which, I got a GTX 970, i7-7700K. I don't have the best computer in the world. And this is a brand new game, coming out in less than a month. Well, actually, the date of recording this is the September 22nd, so it's more than a month, because it's coming out October 25th, so yeah. So, more than a month away, and I'm getting 90 frames. Easy. Again, I do wish that they fixed the anti-aliasing problem. That is one thing that I'm not happy about. Anti-aliasing so far in this game. Like, even the gloves, man. The gloves even look pretty bad right now. My anti-aliasing is up completely. I am also happy to see, it looks like they're adding a lot more game modes than they've ever had before. And also, they're not going to be focusing on a stupid-ass battle royale, which always good, in my opinion.
Cruise missile, go for
Speaking of grenades blowing up right next to doors, I do also think that doors should be destructible. Especially there's some wooden doors on certain maps. They should be destructible. I really do think. I know Call of Duty has never been about destructible environments, but they've never been about destructible environments. I know that. That's always been Battlefield thing, but still, like. But still, I do think that destructible doors would be great, especially since we have the option to open and close them. I think they should be destructible. Also, having that little bit of spawn lag, that reminded me that I was going to talk about spawns in Ground War. I totally forgot. So the spawning in Ground War is kind of wonky. It doesn't work as properly as it should, in my opinion. You can get spawned into some pretty tight shit. I've always really liked the Battlefield spawn system in Conquest, and I think they should probably take a closer look at that. I'm kind of optimistic that they'll make some changes because they already have. Oh my god, that scared me. Jesus Christ. Okay, that guy kind of helped. So, I think they need to really take a look at Battlefield spawn and, you know, try to make it better because it's just kind of, especially if they really want to push Ground War. I think they really need to, try to make the spawning better.
Be advised, UAV is bingo fuel.
Yes! Yes.
This is Jaguar 3.
I have a bunch of kill streaks. I don't even know what else I have. Oh, I think I just have one more UAV.
Cruise missile, go for launch.
He probably wants to call me a hacker.
Friendly UAV overhead.
Oh, another thing I think that they could take from Battlefield 2 is the spotting system. Again, if they really want to try and push it, if they really want to try and push Ground War, I really think that they need a spotting system. Again, like the maps aren't as big as Battlefield, so it makes it a little easier. But the spotting system would be a big improvement, and also the spawning needs a lot of improvement. The spawning system, it needs help for sure. No.
That gave them something to think about. Good
That sucks.
work.
Alright. Well, hey, we won. That's all that matters. XP isn't that big of a deal for me right now, because, again, I'm going to probably wait a week. And I don't know if progress restarts at beta or not. I know that they say, if we get to level 10 on beta, then we'll have an exclusive shotgun. So I'm hoping it's not for people who only pre-purchase it. I'm hoping it is for like everybody who got to level 10 during the beta, because I somehow got invited to early access, even though I have not pre-purchased the game, but I somehow got invited to early access. I don't know how, but honestly, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I really appreciate everyone watching. I wasn't gonna do a video on this, but I was like, you know what, fuck it. So hopefully I can get it out before it's out. I think I'll be able to. I'll just edit and stuff right now. But anyway, I appreciate everyone hanging out, watching this video. It's an incredibly good game. It really is. I actually think this is the best Call of Duty since the glory days, so to speak. And I've already talked about the glory days, but it's all right. I really think that this is a phenomenal game. I don't think it's the best FPS ever. I certainly don't think it's the best Call of Duty ever, but it's the best Call of Duty in at least the last half decade, probably even decade, because Modern Warfare 2 was 2009. So it could be the best Call of Duty in a decade. 10 iterations of Call of Duty, and this could be the best one so far. It just goes to show that the video game industry is always expanding, always improving, or trying to improve, and you know, things can always get better. So I appreciate everyone watching. Hopefully it's a really good game. I hope Activision can do some good things, and I appreciate everyone watching. Have a good one. Peace.